Shifting gears a bit, guys. Niall, when you and I first met back in 2015, 2016, I think, in one of the older offices of Fenergo, that was round about the time where I left my parting shot at BNP Paribas before I left there and said, listen, guys, if we're thinking
Sure.
about building a new customer experience here, and this is for institutional investors, right? You got to be thinking about back in 2014, 2015, the top consumer banking experience that people have, and how do we actually translate some of the high points of that over into the institutional side. And again, it's the whole front end of an experience, the lipstick on a pig type idea isn't everything. It's got to be digital all the way through. It's got to be digital from end to end. I think the institutional side of finance is a long, long way away from that. But what are some of the things that you're seeing when it comes to that the key areas of the customer lifecycle, it's institutional level, perhaps at the at the wealth level, where your institutional customers of Fenergo are making progress on the digital side?
Yeah, and some of it's basics. Like the biggest complaint we get from relationship managers and wealth managers in the wealth space is to spend so much of their time doing administrative tasks. Like they're not actually doing the job that they want to do. So you're talking about, high touch, low touch. When somebody wants high touch relationships, that relationship manager is so working with disjointed systems, manual paper, but it's just freeing them up to do their job is one of the big things. And at the moment, the sentiment isn't positive. The people who get it right, and also the other part, like there's a level of people automate the digital experience for the client, but guess what? Unless your processes in the middle office and the back office actually work, they're connected, they work end to end, you're actually just exposing a really bad internal process to your customers. You got to get that part right. That's the bit that's talking about lipstick on the pig. That's the bit that people don't see. So when we think of giving that customer experience, that really good customer experience, you got to get your middle office right, because if you're initially offering something to the client, but actually you've got to go back and ask for manual papers, or you're asking for the same piece of data over and over again, or you are taking a really long time to respond, that middle office piece is key. So you've got to have that digitization end to end. You've got to really make sure that you're plugged into all your different systems, all your different customer repositories. You want to get that 360 view, but you got to hoover up that data across so many different parts of your financial institution to get that 360 view. Like another piece of feedback we'd hear from relationship managers is the customer knows more about their relationship with the financial institution institutionally than the relationship manager does. So, because the relationship manager doesn't actually have that 360 view, or if you're talking to one part because you're looking for a product set, and then you talk to another part of financial institutions, you're looking for a slightly different product set. They don't know that you're talking to the two different parts. They don't know what products you have. They don't know what would be complementary. The customer knows it, but actually you as a person, a relationship manager, doesn't know it on the other side. So it's really getting that steel thread from the customer to middle office, back office automated straight through as much as possible, while human intervention by exception, and giving that relationship manager, freeing them up to do their job and giving that 360 view. That's key. It's traditional system integration, it's traditional end-to-end automation, but that is the big thing that people are doing, and you can really superpower the customer experience off the back of that if you get that right. Or if not, you're giving a customer a digital experience, but you're actually just exposing them to all the inefficiencies, the internal inefficiencies, and that doesn't lead to a good experience.
You're making me think of something here, Niall, that banking as a service providers, right? Like Solaris out there's Leverus here in Ireland. Their pitch is, listen, take that customer file, put it at the center of the whole platform, and everything else feeds off that, whether it's lending products, whether it's investment products, savings products. And great, you can go get Leverus, you can go get Solaris, others to do that. But can you do, thinking about a big institution, right, that can't just go do that, right? These systems have been in place since the 70s. Can you do this around the edges, right, without it being lipstick on a pig?
Yeah, you can wrap them. I mean, it's just like they've got customer repositories everywhere, little siloed systems that have buckets of data of customer information and duplication of customer information. Like, not to cut product, that's what we would do. We would say, okay, that's absolutely fine. We will leverage them. There'll be repositories of data, buckets of data, but we will bring that into a centralized area and continue to let them live, but we'll keep them in sync. We'll give you that 360 view, and then we'll automate that process end to end, orchestrate across those systems. I mean, that's the big thing that kind of really leverages that and brings that together. So yeah, definitely, and separate, like the banking as a service is a separate topic, but that's key. I think making those investments and then potentially letting that technology be available for other institutions who haven't got it right. I mean, that's a pretty interesting space for people to get into.
Absolutely.